Oh my god. Holy. Too much talking today. Let me just take a... Wow! Alright. Hello, and welcome back to my Endless Space 2 guide. This is guide number 4, Improvements in Technology. I recommend that you watch these all in chronological order. These guides are built for kind of beginner players, anyone who has played the tutorial, not played the tutorial yet, looking at the game maybe, you want to figure out how to get into it, and hopefully I'm your man. Okay, so let's right, so I started up a new game, just to kind of show you quickly about the tech sectors. So in each section, science and exploration, economy and trade, military, and empire development. So these are pretty straightforward on what they do. Science and exploration, its main focus, I would say at least, is give you tech to colonize planets, as you can see here by the little flags. And obviously there are buildings as well that improve your science capabilities. And then there's other cool little buffs, like setting the curiosity level, curiosity detection level. As you get higher level scanners, you can, discover more of these resources, and as well luxury resources and anomalies and just cool little things, and sometimes pirates, but very rarely pirates. So you go through all that, yes. Explorations, buildings, you get the gist of it. There are other cool little tech, important tech, I would say, not cool, important, and I will be going over that kind of at the end. These guys are focused on these special little resources. Some of them are focused on colonization, just, industry-based planets, gas giants, lava. All these hot, kind of sterile planets are good for production. And like I just said, it buffs production, and also dust production, which is highlighted in yellow. Military and science focuses on both space combat and ground combat. It gives you some little modules, as you can see here by the squares. That's a support module. These lines are beams, lasers, etc., etc. This armor provides hull, this armor provides shield. You get the gist. You'll look at it more and you'll understand. And empire development is actually kind of all over the place. Some of it is food-based, and some of it gives you the ability to unlock new ships. Why is it in empire development? I don't know. Ask the devs. But it's you can see here that you can get the tier 1 ships, and then the upgraded version of those tier 1 ships, seen by the little arrow, enhanced Loam class, that's specific to the Unfallen, and the position of each ship will remain the same, but the names will change and the amounts of modules will change ever so slightly. You have to play different civilizations before you discover which one you actually want. The other things that it will buff would be influence, just seen here in kind of the darker purple, I would say. Little buildings for that. And also through approval. All these buildings that improve approval. And a little bit of colonization in there as well. A lot of the diplomacy and government-based stuff is found in there, and the text that you need to build. Like I just hovered over one of it. There it is, like government diversity, right? Allows the ability to change government types. So as I research stuff in the first tier, it will unlock things to go to the second tier. Okay, I think it's right. It's signified by the locks. Okay, I got you. So right now, I'm in tier 1 science. If I was to research that, that'll take 7 turns, so I'm not going to do that. But if I did that, it would unlock the second one. And then as I do 2 techs on the second tier, it would unlock the third tier. 3 techs for the third tier, unlock the fourth, unlock the fifth. You get what I'm going with this. But that's generally how that works. One of the cool new things... Let me just see if I remember this correctly. Is it shift? No. No, is it alt? Aha! Okay, so as you can probably guess what I'm doing here, I'm queuing techs. I can just set up a whole list, and I can drag and drop, kind of like when you're texting and you just move the cursor. It's got that same like eye-shaped bar, and you can move all the text around so you do what you want to do first. Or you could just press Alt, click, and bam, botanical scanning is the first one queued up in the line of many. And yeah, that's it. I just want to show that quickly. Okay, so now buildings. So, well, improvements. Sorry, they're not buildings. Improvements. System improvements, that is. So, as you start out, and as you progress through the game, there will be improvements that you can select. And in the little descriptions, you'll see how long it'll take, the cost, and then it says in brackets how many turns that is based on your production right now. It says the upkeep, so once it's built, it will cost 2 dust to upkeep it, and obviously the effects. So the very basic ones are just general, build it, flat 10 food, flat 10 production. Not based on population, not based on anything. And then as you kind of see more diverse technologies, you'll get buildings improvements like this, where it is plus 10 per planet, and then it's 5 plus 5 per cold, plus 5 for hot. So you have to kind of pick and choose where you want everything to maximize, what it is. And then there's the plus 10, right? And then also, let's see if I can find an example like that. No. Yes, like this. So also, there will be technologies where it'll say if you have a population on a hot planet, it'll give you plus 5. Or if you have population on a sterile planet, it'll give plus 5. And then I'm pretty sure it gives plus 10 if it's hot and sterile. I think that's how it's supposed to work. But anyway, pick and choose, find what's best. And then there's the combination. Where is that? Down here? It's gotta be down here. Aha! So, then there's the combination where it'll say, plus 3 per planet with luxury resource, but then also, even if there's no luxury resource, you get plus 1 dust per planet, per population on planet, which is cool. So, you have to pick and choose. Sometimes it's better to move your population onto a planet where it matters. Like, for instance, I could just drag and drop. If this planet was colonized, if I had my other playthrough loaded up, I could show you. But you could just drag and drop and just move them over. And if this was stacked with anomalies or, hot and sterile for AI labor, then I could just drag and move them all there to maximize that out. Alright, here I am. Back in my Riftborn playthrough just to show you how it works. So I mentioned last time that I could stack up the population. Just move them over there. So I could just do this, These guys are hot and sterile. I want it to be better with AI labor. So I just drag and I drop, and that's how that works. And also it applies for this whole thing with anomalies. I just wanted to show you that quickly. I said in the previous clip I wasn't going to do it, and then I did it. I know. The last thing. System specializations. So, when you unlock tech, right, there is a certain one, for example, this one. The little, not Jupiter, Saturn-looking planet with a ring on it. Those are called planetary specializations. You can build an improvement that applies to the whole system, all the planets in the system, but then you can also do planetary specializations, seen here by the wrench, and I can choose. It's a production. It takes 1 turn to build. I think always should be just 1 turn. 160 production, so maybe not always, but and with each one it gives a buff. So plus 1 food for fertile, plus 1 per population, plus 2 for population on hot, plus 2 population normally, and it just goes and goes and goes, and then there's slag and sludge. But you unlock tech and it gives you the ability to do that, and I just needed to quickly mention that because that's something you kind of want to look at when you're choosing a planet. You might find a planet where this one is kind of an outlier, but it could be 4 cold, and maybe you have a hero that is really good at buffing science, like the Sophons, or I think there's another guy I'm thinking of, I can't remember what his name is, but buff science. So maybe you want to colonize this one and make it your science system, which you can do. And actually, I should probably switch these off Slag, but you know, I could turn that to Exo Science, and now because it's cold, I will get a buff. And that's just generally how that works. I wanted to mention it just very quickly.